Hello everyone, Neil Tappin here from Golf Monthly and welcome to Wentworth Club, and the first in a special three-part series in which we've got three normal amateur golfers and we're going to give them to Nick Dougherty for the day to see whether Nick can help them play better golf. So we're here at Wentworth and we're going to head out onto the West Course. They're going to play 3 holes with Nick and then they're going to get some individual one-on-one lesson time to see what advice Nick can offer them to help them shoot lower scores. So our first golfer is a 10-year-old junior who plays off a handicap of 9. Very impressive golfer. The question is, how will Nick help him improve? Let's go and find out. Right, Josh, so first question,
Yep.
What's your handicap?
I'm off 9 at the moment.
And how long have you been playing for? Because you're only, what, 10 years old?
Yep, so I've been playing since I was 2.
And I take it your handicap has come down pretty quickly this year. So we're filming this in end of September. What would it have been at the start of the year, do you think?
So at the start of the year, it was about 14.
Okay.
So it's come down quite a lot because of summer and playing a lot of golf.
Yeah, and I've seen you hit the ball quite a bit and I can confirm you hit it very nicely. But how's your feeling about where your game is at? What's your strengths? What do you think your weaknesses are?
I think, golf is good at the moment. I'd say my strength is probably my driving. I could probably still improve my wedges, chipping and putting.
So you're going to have access to somebody who used to be on the European Tour. He's one of the sort of best pundits in the game. What do you think you'd like to learn from Nick? What are the questions that you want to answer?
Probably a few questions about being on tour.
Oh yeah?
I'd say I'm quite interested about that, and how hard is it to get there?
Well, it's a very exciting proposition in front of us. Right, let's head out onto the golf course to meet Nick.
We'd have more tees and you're going to make a circle around. Perfect. 2. A little bit more backswing. Using that bounce is the thing. If you throw more speed at it, but you keep using the bounce, get that foot open.
Yeah.
Get that knee over that foot. Nice. That's it, plenty of power into it. Oh, lovely, what a shot. To go down the slope. So the only way, so you almost want to feel like you're soft in your knees as you go down the slope, yeah? Your back where the rock is, goes rock, rock. So feel that in there. Look at a nice thing, step away, not too close to the balls.
Right, Nick, so let's start with Josh. We firstly played 3 holes. And so what were your first impressions of the way that Josh hits the ball?
He drives it like I wish I did when I was playing on tour. Phenomenal, really great golf swing, good attitude as well. And I think for Josh, the most important stuff was getting the most out of the skills that he already has. Playing off 9, is still immense at this age, and he's progressing nicely. He's going to get naturally bigger and stronger. So the rest of it should take care of itself. So for him, I think it was a little bit more about selection of shots, maybe a bit more strategy orientated in how he could improve, whilst he just naturally develops in all the other areas.
So what would be the general advice then in terms of strategy? Is there anything in there that you can offer people that they might be able to take into their own
Especially
game?
I think this is helpful for juniors in particular, because we all remember being juniors, those of us that have played from a young enough age. When you get to a level where you start to spin the golf ball, it becomes something that's very addictive in terms of, and it's a feel good, and to be fair, it's a testament to quality of strike, and Josh has that. But sometimes it will lead him to play a more challenging shot than the one he needs to. The name of the game is how many shots did it take, not how pretty did they look. So I think one of the things with Josh that I wanted to try and instill was pick something that we could reproduce more regularly with it in terms of shot selection around the greens. So for that, we use the idea of landing it a set point on the green, barring something weird going on with the green, like the Elephant's Graveyard at St Andrews, some of that, which might influence your shot. Normal green in front of you, trying to land it roughly a couple of yards on every time, and then using that landing point then to tell us what sort of shot should we be playing here, so what club. So wherever that flag is in relation to that landing point will tell us Is it tight to it, in which case it might be the 60 degree, or for Josh it'd be a 58. Is it a 52? If there's a whole load of green to work with, like maybe across the 11th, one of the holes we played today, maybe we get down to 9, 8, 7, you know, and have a nice simple action, which he does already have.
Yeah.
But he was picking a shot that was much more basic for him. But also you could see when I set him up, and again, this is something sort of tapping into things to work on through the winter and stuff, when we made him dial in on competing to land it in the right place. So competing normally is, did you get it up and down, you know? Right. Whereas we moved it to, can you deliver this skill, which was hitting those landing points.
Got it.
Really good. So if he can do that time and time again, he's going to have an electric short game. And I'd hazard a guess that Josh will shave a ton of strokes off his game by becoming just really, really effective at the simple stuff around the greens.
And what's quite interesting, and I was standing in the background watching all of this as it took place, is that element of like having a challenge as you practice, which is more than just getting up and down, as you say, but actually can you land it on this towel or hit it into this circle on the green, is something that for a junior golfer is really going to hopefully engage a little bit more in what you're trying to do.
Practice sucks, you know. It's that, I mean, especially for kids, it's the boring bit. You know, they want to be out there trying to beat their pals, playing in competitions, but we got to work at it. You know, that's how we groom these skills. So the best thing we can do, and actually to get the most out of that practice, is to make it more performance orientated, which is what most practice isn't. The most guilty thing I see from amateur golfers of the way they go about what they do is the way they practice. Really poor. And I've been a culprit over the years as well. Right. Scrape hit, scrape hit, scrape hit. You're wasting your time. Unless you're purely grooving a movement. But even still, it should be conscious. You should be engaged with it, because in the end you have to engage when you get out here on the golf course. If I take any amateur anywhere in the world and put them on that first tee in the BMW PGA to hit that tee shot, those feelings, how those arms feel, how they feel inside will feel completely different to if I said, there's a range, there's no one on it, here's a couple hundred balls, have a good day. Because bored, almost bored, casual, like, eh. And sometimes it might not even be good because they're just not focused at all. But the fact is, you do that to prepare for this. If we can bring the pressure to the practice, and in a fun way as well, and create that challenge, then one, it might also shift this to feeling more like a fun challenge rather than, oh my goodness, I'm terrified, the club championships next week, for adults, less so for kids, you know, to being like, this is fun, it's a challenge. And also you're used to having to do it under a bit of pressure. And that means that then when you step on that first tee, there is a comfort in thinking, this isn't as different. Sure, it's different. Yeah. You know, just like if I put someone in a position like I have to win on tour or to play in the Masters or tee it up on the first tee at the Open in your home city, like that would be terrifying and feel uncomfortable to them. But you get used to it the more you put yourself in that position. So if we're doing that in our practice, we make the stuff on the course a lot easier.
So there you have it, some really simple and effective ways to think about game plan and strategy when you're on the golf course, and also how to practice as well. Some simple advice there for Josh and hopefully for you too to help you improve. So there you have it, some really simple and effective advice from Nick for Josh on how to improve by building a better strategy and then how to work, particularly on his short game. Obviously, Nick is a player who's been there and who's done it before, and having that kind of tour player level insight is something that should really help Josh as he continues to improve his golf game, and hopefully there's some stuff in there that should really help you as well. That's it for now from Wentworth. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.